Nation of Fit and 10, it is day 28. We are at the end of 4 weeks, if you can believe it. One more week to go, and we are at the halfway point. Can you believe it? Halfway point? Well, we're not there yet, but another week. And yeah, it's just, I tell you, it flies by. Remember I told you in the beginning that, well, the challenge goes by super fast, right? All right, listen, I want to just, continue to discourage you to drink alcohol, so I'm going to do that. So a reminder to you that I know I talked about this yesterday, but I want to remind you of a few other things that, hopefully discourage you from drinking alcohol. And so a few things that I want you to remember. This is going to really interfere with your recovery. This is also going to interfere. How does it interfere with your recovery? It blunts protein synthesis. Alcohol, when it's in your system, blunts protein synthesis. That means is you're essentially not able to recover tissues or wounds or anything like that. Number 2, it toxifies your liver. So your liver cannot do its job in metabolizing fats. And this is typically why when you see people who, granted these are people that have had their fair share of alcohol, they tend to have fatty liver disease. And they tend to have a lot of visceral fat. So this is fat in the abdominal cavity. Also, I want to remind you that alcohol depletes your system of vital nutrients, specifically vitamins and minerals. It also dehydrates you. It is a depressant. Granted, I understand that it's readily available and it's accepted in society and it just kind of seems like the norm, but really it's not good for you. Okay, so basically what I'm asking you to do is to not drink for the remaining 6 weeks of this challenge. Okay, the remaining 42 days. You can do that. I don't think it's that hard. Okay, it's just abstaining from one thing. You should be able to do it. It's a good challenge. And if you cannot do it, that should tell you something, right? Because, well, you can do it, okay? You're just choosing not to. May not be easy, but, okay? Anyways, it's up to you. I'm not here to judge. I've got my own things, my own areas of my life I need to, work on. So, no judgment on my part. I'm just, giving you what I think is advice that it will be helpful to you, okay? All right. I want to get to your questions. Of course, I don't have my laptop here, but I do remember them because I did look at them. And so one of the questions was how much sleep should I get per night? And the answer is you should get a minimum of 7 hours. Okay, if you can get 8, I think that's going to be really good. If you can get between 8 and 9, kudos to you. But if you're getting less than 7, yeah, that's really just not enough. So try to get in that 7 hours sleep at least every single night. And this is very important. The other part of this question is how important it is for doing well in this challenge. It is really important because this is when you're going to recover. And when you recover, once that recovery is done, essentially, you're able to, again, move forward in your workouts, right? You're able to, once the targeted muscle is recovered, it's then ready to go to be stressed again, okay? And the quicker we can do this, the better the results. Also want to remember that a good portion of fat burning happens in the evening, okay? And also we want to think about other things like brain health, right? We really need to get that sleep in for brain health. And there's a whole other set of reasons as well, okay? So make sure you get in at least 7 hours per night. Another question that I had addressed to me was intermittent fasting. What do I think of it? Okay, well, the answer is everybody intermittent fasts. Everybody does, because you're not eating all the time. But I realize that's not your question, obviously. You're probably talking about something more along the lines of not eating for 12 hours or 16 hours or 24 hours or whatever, system you want to follow. So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, I think fasting is really good for your internals, especially your organs, especially things like your kidney, your liver, your intestines, these types of things. So I think it's a really, really healthy way to go. But if you're somebody who is trying to, let's say, increase their strength, increase their bone density, increase their overall muscle mass, if they're trying to lose body fat, I don't think it's a great way to go. Okay, and I don't think it's a long-term solution. Now, if you can do something long-term, whatever you choose to do, if you can fast and you can maintain a program long-term, then, by all means do it. But obviously we always want a solution for whatever we're going to attribute to our life to be, something that we can do long-term. So when it comes to, again, maintaining the state of your body and, physically speaking, I don't think it's a great solution. When it comes to internal health, I think it's a great solution. I did some fasting myself when I had some digestive issues. Now, obviously I did this for a short period of time. And I didn't do excessive fasting. I still got in all my calories in actually an 8-hour window. And I fasted for a max of 16 hours. So it wasn't always 16 hours, it was 14 to 16 hours. But every day I did that. And it definitely helped out with some digestive issues I was having. I also did a couple other things as well to help out with that. Removal of certain foods, etc. So really it depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking, if you could frame your question to be more specific, then I could address it more. But hopefully this does help you. But again, if you're looking at it as something to help keep your weight down, it's possible it could. Now, how can this happen? Well, when you fast, typically people eat less calories, but that's not always the case. I mean, I could easily eat all the calories that I would normally have in the 12-hour time span. I could eat in 8 hours. No problem. I can sit down, I can easily eat a meal that's 2,000 plus calories, even if it's all real whole food. That's no problem. And that's just one meal. So, but if you choose to fast and you take in more calories, and this has been demonstrated, you choose to take in more calories than what you would otherwise, you're gonna gain weight, okay? Because it's still about the total calories for the day. All right, so hopefully that helps you. All right, so today's message of the day is this: focus. Okay, and the focus is you gotta focus, but actually it's an acronym, and the acronym is follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. Now, I realize if you were doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, that's kind of like banging your head on the wall. But of course, what we're talking about is doing or maintaining the things in your life that are going to be helpful to you, right? So focus on those things that are going to be helpful. Focus on things like getting in regular exercise. Keep in 3 days of weight training per week for the rest of your life. Do some form of cardiovascular exercise, 3 to 5 times per week. Watch your total calories, eat real whole foods, some very, very basic things. And this is going to help you for, I think, the rest of your life. These are just very general rules that can have a profound effect, okay, on your health and your well-being, not just your physical health, but your mental health as well. Okay, so follow one course until successful. All right, and we can look at it. We can look at success as progression, not necessarily an end point. All right, think about success as progression, never an end point. Okay, and that's not to say that you shouldn't have goals or targets. These are all great, but let's always think about self-improvement. Okay, and that's not to say that what you've achieved so far is not good. Of course, it's good. But we can always look for more. We can always strive to be better. Okay, on that note, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to y'all very soon. See you guys.